It's Accountex Day 1. We're doing a series of live streams on behalf of the Accounting Influencers podcast. I'm thrilled to have with me today the legend that is Philippa Haynes. Good day.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Now, are you an Accountex veteran? Have you done loads of these, or is this a new game to you?
Yeah, no, I've done quite a few, although it seems to get bigger and bigger every year,
Doesn't it?
And noisier and warmer.
Allegedly, Philippa, it's 20% bigger than last year.
Really?
And last year was pretty big after the COVID break. So,
well, that's great news, isn't it?
Why do you come?
I have a lot of virtual clients who I have worked with on Zoom because of what's been going on, and I just want to meet them face to face, really.
Yeah.
So that's one of the primary reasons. Obviously, it's to meet those other influencers like yourself, Rob, but also to talk to ACCA and just get my name out there and keep the profile going.
Yeah.
So
Now, you understand all about profile because I know what you do. But for the benefit of our audience, tell us a little bit about your world.
So I help accountants and bookkeepers to stand out. And that means to stand out to their ideal client. So I help them to identify, inspire, and convert them. I think a lot of accountants in particular want to grow. They're thinking about growth, but it's growing in the right way, essentially, and making sure that you get the right people through the door. And so when it comes to your marketing, because I'm all about brand and marketing, people need to choose you. Mm-hmm. You don't want somebody, a prospect on the phone saying, so why should I choose you? You know, what do you cost? What you really want somebody to say is, I love your ethos, I love what you're about, I just really want to work with you.
I get you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So that's, I want people to have that conversation before they pick up the phone, essentially, and know what they're going to get.
Do accountants understand that differentiation thing? Because there's certainly an air of complacency in accountancy that we are a required service by law. We put up a website. It doesn't matter if we look and sound the same as everyone else. Everybody needs an accountant, so we'll get business.
Yeah.
But I guess, is it really the right kind of business?
That's one of the issues. Is it the right kind of business?
Yeah.
But I also think that things are changing. I think we all realise that we do need to have a profile.
Yeah.
We do need to be clear about what we represent and how we're different. Will Farnell is obviously talking about the human firm a lot, and I really agree with that. I think it's the team and the person and the business owner behind that business that drives how they work with their clients. And to me, that's really, really important. So, you know, there's a race to get digitally enabled. There's a race to have all of that tech stack. But I also think you need to think about that relationship, that ideal client, that kind of message that you want to put out to the world.
And you alluded to it earlier, Philippa. If you don't differentiate as a firm, you do end up competing on price or losing out clients to other firms, so your retention goes down, and probably you fail to attract the talent that you need to grow your firm. Yeah,
I think it's a slippery slope. If you trade on price, there's only one way to go, isn't there? And that's down. Yeah. And I think if you have more to say, then you're obviously in control of your growth, in control of that message going out. So hopefully the prospects and clients coming in will be good quality and valuable. But also it's about keeping your team motivated, understanding what it's all about. There are so many businesses here today who have really big brands and everybody's crowding around them. And that's because they've set out their stall and said, this is what we're about. And I think really if you want to play the game going forward, it's all about that connection, it's all about that brand, it's all about that marketing message.
We've got some big brands here, as you say. Now they've invested a lot of money in their stand. If we're a Nike or a Coca-Cola or a Porsche, we'd have a strong brand. But accountants, they don't have that impetus to invest a lot in branding.
Yeah.
So can they do this with a certain level of investment, maybe by developing the personal brands of their people to be ambassadors of the firm? Or is it money at the website? What are the strategies?
Yeah. So I think it's the people behind the business.
Right, the personalities.
The personalities. And it can be an individual personal brand. If it's a team, though, obviously, that we need to find those commonalities there. I don't think you have to be a Nike or a Coca-Cola and throw lots of money at this. I think you just need to be clear about what makes you different and how that translates into the client experience, in terms of the onboarding, the service, all of those good things, because people want to know up front. And when you hear somebody who says, we're friendly, we're personable, that seems to me like a hygiene factor. We would imagine that everybody's going to be personable and helpful.
Everyone claims the same thing.
Everybody
don't they?
claims the same thing. So what is it about you? And I don't think that you need to have that enormous budget to get where you need to be. I've worked with lots of clients, both accountants and bookkeepers, who have had their business lives turned around really, really quickly because they feel so much more confident about their business, and they feel more confident with clients and prospects. They actually do say sometimes, I don't think you're an ideal client for me. And that is quite powerful for them. But also, if they say, you're perfect for me, you're the ideal client, actually that prospect feels really good as well. Yeah. So it's a win-win, and that's what we're trying to get to. We're not trying to be smoke and mirrors with marketing puff. We're about developing connections, the emotional connection as well as that sort of rational connection.
And presumably part of your approach is to get these firms not just to claim a certain set of values or a certain market position, but to provide some evidence or proof of that through the stories that they tell and the socials that they put out, to give evidence for what they're claiming.
Yeah, absolutely. So really there needs to be DNA that runs through everything you do. So once you know what your message is about, who you're focused on, your communication and your marketing, whether it's your website, whether it's your social media, everything should come from that. It almost gives you that kind of template or that pattern, if you like, to say, what should I be doing? What would I be talking about? So it's just guide rails, really, for everything that you do. And that makes it really powerful, and it gives you that road forward rather than saying, well, what are we going to talk about? We all know about MTD. We all know about the tax detail behind it. But we want to talk to our prospects in a more human way.
Yeah. What's your agenda for Accountex? Are you spending 2 days here? Is it going to be non-stop networking and talking, or fun and partying?
I am going to go to the party later. I've got my Iris band on here.
Excellent.
And
That's a golden ticket, that. A lot of people tend away for the Iris after party.
There we go. So yeah, I'm meeting up with some clients actually who'll be attending there. I'm bumping into some clients and meeting them as well during the day. I've been helping Mark Lee set up his speaker slot. And then I've been talking to all of the sort of relevant ACCA, ICB.
Got to be seen.
Just got to be seen. Yeah. And yeah, really enjoying myself and meeting other people, influencers, bumping into them, because actually there's a massive community on LinkedIn, but we haven't met each other. So that's the really powerful bit today, I think, for me.
And finally, Philippa, what excites you most about what's coming up for the profession over the next few years? There's a lot of changes right now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what really resonates at the moment is this conversation about being human and relationship, and you can call that whatever you will, advisory, etc. But for me, it's about empowering accountants and bookkeepers to be the best they can be, and to have those fantastic relationships, which, they have some of those, but I'd like them to have more. I'd like them to grow in the right way. I'd like to be their partner so that they can translate from one of many to actually one of the leading lights. So I just want to work with them and sort of bring that emotion, which I think is moving increasingly into the industry.
It's much needed. Philippa Haynes, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great to talk to you.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you.